My name's Harriet. I am 24, I got pregnant at 17 and I have a 6-year-old. I had a really complicated birth. I had really high blood pressure, I had pre-eclampsia, I had high heart rate. And I think my body was just like, it's enough. The midwives decided to induce the pregnancy and I was preparing to give birth to my child, and then during this time I came across a lot of complications where I had to be rushed into surgery, the surgical room, to have an emergency C-section. At the time, none of my family were there because I was induced, so they thought that the baby was going to come in, maybe, it takes a while for the inducing thing to happen, and they wasn't expecting that every time I had a contraction that the baby's heart rate wasn't showing. So they had to make that decision and actually rush me into surgery. When I had the C-section, it was really overwhelming for me because one, I wasn't expecting, I was under so much pressure, I didn't really feel like I was even having a baby. And then on top of that, when I had the C-section, I was put under full anesthetic. So to be honest, it was all a blur to me. I don't really remember having a baby. I woke up in the middle of the night, I could hear crying. I was confused, I had no idea where I was. And then when I finally came about, I was in intensive care. And just waking up in intensive care was another shock because I started off in another room. I didn't know where my family was. I didn't know where my belongings were. I was in a gown at this stage as well because they clearly had to take off my clothes and strip me. Yeah, I think it really did have a knock-on effect on my mental health and how I connect with my child.